if I'd have done more training or maybe something else, that this wouldn't have happened. But the truth is that kids will make their own choices.
Both those who make stupid mistakes or have problems like this in their life and the ones that are affected by those choices, it's greatly failed.
In days I was saying, you know, Josh has done some very bad things, and he's very sorry.
Following his conviction on charges of receiving and possessing child pornography, Josh Duggar has spent the last few months behind bars. He received a 151-month jail sentence. Duggar is appealing, but since his arrest in 2021, there's been more focus on the former 19 Kids and Counting star's past actions before the arrival of federal agents. His well-known father Jim Bob Duggar's alleged actions have also come under more scrutiny, so to find out, stay tuned until the very end. Welcome to yet another fantastic video from the Gossip Gush channel. In this video, we'll discuss how Jim Bob accused Michelle of being the cause of Josh Duggar's child pornography problems. Ring the bell and join our channel first to make sure you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Now let's get this going. The reality TV show's viewers may recall a scandal from years ago when In Touch published a short report alleging that a younger Josh Duggar had molested some young women, including several of his sisters. The report was sealed and the incident was handled privately, but it was still accessible through a Freedom of Information Act request. In response to the public molestation revelation, Duggar filed a lawsuit, but he lost it and all subsequent appeals. Life continued while 19 Kids and Counting was canceled. Josh married Anna and the two eventually had 7 children to date. Anna and the two eventually had 7 children. On TLC, the same network as the family's former reality TV show, several of his relatives joined the cast of Counting On. Josh accepted a position within the Family Research Council, but later changed careers to sell cars in the wake of the alleged Ashley Madison cheating scandal. According to the larger family story, Jim Bob and Michelle continued to allegedly have a lot of power behind the scenes, with the well-known patriarch reportedly receiving the majority of the proceeds from reality television. In addition, a recent report from Without a Crystal Ball claims that Josh Duggar's parents were aware of what was happening early on and created stories to justify his behavior. Katie Joy was informed by an insider that Jim Bob allegedly blamed his wife, Michelle, for the problem. Michelle explained to her friends in 2006 that Josh's behavior was caused by his discovery of a box of men's magazines when he was 8 years old, and for that reason he acted as he did. Michelle's account, however, did not line up with Jim Bob's. Therefore, this friend informed me that Jim Bob actually started blaming Michelle once he started talking to his friends. Josh inherited Michelle's tendencies, he told a large group of churchgoers, because Michelle was promiscuous in high school and occasionally indulged in self-pleasuring behavior. That is a serious accusation if it's true, but it should be noted that all of this information is secondhand and comes from unidentified sources. Nevertheless, according to YouTuber Katie Joy, she spoke to insiders who interacted with people from Michelle Duggar's and Jim Bob's camps, and they allegedly discussed a time when Josh Duggar had his head shaved. He was seen with a shaved head in TV specials, so this is confirmed, and was residing away from the main house allegedly while his family considered how to deal with his tendencies. Additionally, Katie Joy mentioned that an insider claimed Jim Bob made an effort to keep the blame for Josh's actions on external circumstances, and she added, he was claiming that Josh's actions towards his sisters were caused by Michelle's sins, issues with premarital promiscuity and self-indulgence during her adolescence. At one point, he also claimed that he had inherited traits from his father or had grown up to be like him, but he would not say what his father had done. Jim Bob would essentially accuse anyone else. Since Josh's arrest, trial, and eventual imprisonment, Jim Bob and Michelle haven't said much about him in public. The Duggar parents did break their silence after the decision was made, writing that the entire ordeal has been very grievous, and that they were praying for Joshua, though they didn't go as far as some of the other Duggar family members did, and expressed agreement with the court's ruling. During the trial, Jim Bob was also spotted in the courtroom, and Michelle had requested leniency before the sentence was handed down. Due to her upbringing under the guidance of disgraced religious failure Bill Gothard, her thoughts on religion in the wake of her brother Josh Duggar's conviction on child pornography charges, Jinger Duggar Vuolo has undertaken a significant examination of her religious beliefs. The sixth child of the family, made famous by the TLC series 19 Kids and Counting, explores her journey in her most recent book, Becoming Free Indeed. She distances herself from the Institute in Basic Life Principles, calling out the disturbing environment and expressing empathy for those who have abandoned Christianity entirely. According to E.T., Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar raised their kids according to the IBLP teachings, a traditional way of life that prioritizes having big families and dressing modestly, which is why it was a big deal when some of their daughters began donning shorts. Bill Gothard was preaching the false doctrines the Bible had forewarned against, according to Jinger Duggar Vuolo, who wrote about this in Becoming Free Indeed, My Story of Disentangling Faith from Fear. She also discussed how unsettling the IBLP founders' behavior was. According to Christianity Today, she wrote that a senior man insisted on surrounding himself with young girls, some of who were still minors, is disturbing, and he carried out his action in God's service. She also emphasized the fact that he employed young women as office assistants in a business that held the belief that women shouldn't work outside the home. After Bill Gothard left the organization in 2014 as a result of numerous allegations of sexual harassment made by former workers, Jinger Duggar claimed to understand why some people were shunning the IBLP, and in some cases, all religion. She claimed that she'd observed the absence of those she loved at conferences even before she left, as she detailed in the book, because all they've ever known of Christianity is Gothard's interpretation of it. A great number of people I know and love have decided it's not for them. They make the same assumption as Gothard's theology, that God is oppressive and omnipotent. They believe God is also like that when they witness so-called Christians mistreating people, and leaders like Gothard tolerating it. My sympathy is with them. They don't want anything to do with Christianity, and I can see why. Jinger Duggar claimed that she herself grew up constantly worrying about how God would punish her for her trivial transgressions, like not eating enough fiber in her bread. Bill Gothard claimed that immodest dress was one of the reasons God might permit abusive victims. The Counting On star had similar feelings about Josh Duggar, whom Jinger Duggar Vuolo has said was living a lie, and whose arrest may have received more attention due to the public's knowledge that he had molested his sisters when he was younger. Both Bill Gothard and Josh Duggar have had a negative impact on people's faith. Vuolo contended that although her brother would have been imprisoned for his crimes regardless of his status as a public figure, his sins give Christ a bad name and provides motivation for those who want to reject Christianity. Prior to having his release date postponed to 10 years in the future, Josh Duggar was given a 2022 sentence of 151 months in prison. Now Duggar is anticipated to be released on August 12, 2032. After which, the former star of 19 Kids and Counting will serve an additional 20 years of probation. What are your thoughts on this? Give your comments in the space provided below. If you enjoyed this video, kindly like, comment, and share it. And take care until the next video.